great to have you with us today, Nikki. And I'm sitting here in my office in church. Just remind us where you are.
Right now, I'm sat in my living room on my settee.
Home.
Yes.
But we are talking because of Affordable Foods, aren't we, today?
We are, yes.
Which is based in Meaford Drive in Hollybush.
It is.
Do you want to just remind us a little bit about it? I know you've spoken to us before in church, but just remind us again of what it is, how it started, what you do.
Well, we've been in Meaford Drive for very nearly 3 years now. It'll be 3 years in November. And we set Affordable Foods up because we realised that there was a very real correlation between food waste and food poverty. So we set it up with the aim of being able to provide families with a cheaper alternative to the regular big supermarkets' expensive prices. So we intercept food that would be ordinarily destined for landfill.
That sounds a bit sinister, intercepting.
It does, doesn't it? There's nothing sinister about it. It's not that exciting. We approach companies that have, for instance, Christmas is coming, so lots and lots of packaging is marketed with Santa Claus on it or some bells on it or something. And come January, supermarkets don't want that stock on their shelves. And what used to happen is it would just go to landfill. It was surplus to requirements. They didn't want that stock.
It would just be wasted, thrown away.
Absolutely. Yeah. Whatever. I mean, obviously, lots of supermarkets reduce their seasonal products, but whatever they can't get rid of, they will waste. They will throw away. And when we say throw away, we mean literally throw it in the bin. So we now have lots of contacts where that doesn't happen. That's where the intercept comes in. We can go to them and say, okay, don't throw it away. Let us buy it off you for a massively reduced cost, and we can sell it at a massively reduced cost. And customers in my shop don't care if something's got a Santa Claus on it. It doesn't affect the way it tastes. You know, they don't care. So that's where it comes in. And we have lots of things that are end of line or a change of packaging or past the best before date. So supermarkets are very reluctant to sell stuff that's past its best before date. And we're not reluctant. We hold our hands up. We say this is the premise of our shop. Lots of stuff is close to or past its best before date, but it's still perfectly edible. It's still fine to eat. There's no safety concerns whatsoever, but it's massively reduced. It's so much cheaper than the big supermarkets. So that's where Affordable Foods was born. And that was nearly 3 years ago. But we quickly came to realise that even though people were able to buy food at a reduced cost, some people didn't even have that money. Some people were still unable to put food on the table, even at a reduced cost.
So how do you help that group of people?
Yes. We take donations from anybody. Your allotment, for instance, you know, we've had lots of fresh produce from lots and lots of allotments, and from people's apple trees at the bottom of the garden, and the rhubarb plant that's grown out of control. And people will bring it in and they will pop it on our free section.
So you've got a free section?
We have. And it is exactly that. It is free and anybody can come in. We don't care what your background is. We don't care if you've got £1 million in the bank or no money in the bank. If you can use it and save it going from waste, then please come and take it. Please only take what you will use. Don't be greedy, but come and take it. So that helps a lot of families. You can come in, you don't have to spend a penny. You can come in and take directly from the free section. That's
a brilliant service that you offer. Well done. Thank you for that.
It works so well. It really does work well. And now we've been there for 3 years. We've built up a a relationship with lots of people on the community. So if they are having a sort out of their pantry and they've realised that they've got 27 tins of tomato soup that they're never going to eat, they will donate it to us and it goes on the free section.
Yeah.
So that's sort of two strings to how affordable food works. But then there's a third one. So we have messages and phone calls on a daily basis from people that are really, really struggling. And the food that we have on the free section, it's very basic food. You know, we'll have bread and cakes and fresh produce, but sometimes people need a bit more than that. So we are able to provide emergency food parcels as well. And where we differ from a food bank is we don't have a voucher scheme. You don't need a voucher. You can come in and we will chat. I'll always chat to people and try and get to know a little bit about them. Let them know that we are approachable and we're friendly. And
I would imagine you're building up relationships and some sense of community there.
Yes, absolutely. I can give you an example. On Friday, we had a young man that came in and he walked through the door and he said that a friend of his had pointed him our direction, and he just got out of prison 2 days previous. And we got chatting and he was a lovely chap. He was only young, he was only 24, and he went to prison because he had a fight with somebody, and subsequently the person he had a fight with fell and hit their head, and this person was very, very poorly, and he went to prison for it. And we had a really, really good chat, and he told me that he had been housed in some form of hostel type of accommodation, and he'd been given a food bank voucher. Now, I do champion food banks. Please don't think I'm knocking them, but he'd been given a food bank voucher and he had a severe nut allergy. And he said he went to a food bank and the allergy wasn't taken into consideration. They gave him a bag of food, but a lot of it he couldn't eat because of the allergy. And a lot of the stuff he didn't like. And that's a big thing to me. I know people say just because if you're starving, you'll eat anything. But, you know, if I was starving and someone put a plate of peas in front of me, I still wouldn't eat them because I detest them. I really, really don't like them. And I really felt for this young man. And we were chatting for a good half an hour. And I sent him away with 2 bags of food. And we went through all the ingredients. And he asked me if I'd got some toiletries because he hadn't got any. And he said the one thing he didn't like was being smelly. He got no toiletries and he just wanted a wash.
So you do more things than just food items?
Absolutely. Yeah, we do. We've always got a stock of toothpaste or toilet rolls, shower gels. And I just think to myself, it's not my place to judge. He came in, he was very polite, he was very honest, and I appreciate honesty. I really do appreciate honesty. And we sent him away with 2 bags of food. So that.
Just lost the audio, Nikki, I'm afraid. There you go, we're back again.
So that's just one of the stories of the people that we can help. And we have families who are struggling. COVID hit a lot of families really, really hard.
Nikki, just explain to us what it's been like during this pandemic with COVID over the last few months. What's it been like for you?
It's been harrowing. It's been really, really hard because we've heard stories every single day of families that are really, really struggling and families that are embarrassed to ask for help. And that hurts me as well because I don't want people to be embarrassed. I don't want people to go to bed hungry just because of pride. You know, come to us, come and speak to us. And we've helped so many families. Lots of families we helped because of shielding. So, and a lot of families we went to, collected money and did shopping for them. It wasn't that they had no money. It wasn't that they needed the free food. They just needed somebody to go and get them some food. So we did quite a lot of that. But equally, we did the same amount of emergency food parcels, because there was so much uncertainty around the period of lockdown, and where people's money was coming from. People that were on 0 hours contracts, people that had only just started the jobs, people that got laid off straight away. So we helped lots and lots of families, and we've continued to keep in touch with them families. So that's really lovely.
Brilliant. I mean, we're using this harvest time to support you again. We're happy to do that. It's a concrete way that people can show support and help for other people.
Yeah.
So we're happy to do that, Nikki, and do it beyond harvest as we go through the winter. It's going to be tough, isn't it, for, like you say, lots of individuals, lots of families.
Yeah, it is. We're entering another uncertain period, especially with the furlough scheme ending. I've been listening to the news most of the day, and Chambers of Commerce were on the radio saying that the next 3 months especially are going to be really, really tough, and families are really going to struggle. And we want to make sure that we have the stocks, that we have the supplies. And if someone came to me and we didn't have any extra food, I'd still make sure they ate. You know, I am very, very fortunate. I've got a fantastic family. My husband's got a fantastic job. I am very fortunate. And if I can help somebody, I will, always. So your donation for the harvest is fantastic, absolutely brilliant, because it just means it's more families that can not have that worry of where does the next meal come from.
Nikki, we applaud your spirit, we applaud your commitment, we applaud your enthusiasm, actually, and your passion obviously just shines through, and we're just happy to help you. And yeah, God bless you, Nikki, and all that you do, your volunteers, and Affordable Foods there and Meaford Drive.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, and we appreciate your support as well, because without your congregation, without you, we couldn't carry on doing what we're doing. So even though I'm the face of Affordable Foods, we couldn't do it without you. So it's a thanks to everybody.
Thank you so much for that. It is a team effort, but you're frontline.
Yeah.
And so we salute you. And we wish God's blessing upon you, your family, and everything that you do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.